Hey, eighth graders, Mrs. Gale here. As you can see, I'm in the Grand Canyon where there's lots of rocks. I thought this would be a great background for today. Again, Google Meet's request form is right there, and there's the Google Meet link if you want to check in with me. Today is the Rock Cycle Summative assignment, and it is in Google Classroom right now, so I'll go there in a minute. I just want to remind you, we had our Bill Nye Ed puzzle where it showed you the ways rocks form in nature. We've done our Rock Cycle Pathway assignment, and that was matching what we will actually be doing on our Rock Cycle Summative assignment. And we have done our web quest part 1 and part 2, where we looked at the rock cycle more closely, and it even has a picture of the rock cycle. You had your 2 rocks that you showed me that you found in your house or outside and talked about those. And that's all our work that we've done to prepare ourselves for this assessment. When you go into Classroom, there are 2 links there. The first one is the Distance Learning Rock Cycle Assessment, and those are the directions. And then the other one is a copy of the rubric so that you can see what you need to make sure you have on the Rock Cycle Summative Assessment. And here is the assignment. So your job, what you need to do is draw a picture of the rock cycle. And it says for the final assessment, this learning target will be to draw a picture of the rock cycle and explain your picture. The scoring rubric is at the bottom of this document. I also have it in a separate place. So there's 3 things you need to make sure you have. One is the 3 rock types, see word list below, and you're going to put that rock type in a rectangle. So whatever the rock type name is, you write that inside the rectangle, and you should have at least 3 of those on your drawing. It says include a picture of a rock with the rock type characteristics or the rock forming. You can include descriptions of the rock to show a deep understanding of formation. So you might say an example of an igneous rock is, and then describe that rock or show a picture of it. The next thing that you need to make sure you have is the processes that form each rock. So whatever rock type you have in this rectangle, you need to have arrows going into it to show how that rock could form. And those either are written inside the arrow or next to the arrow, like the 2 examples. Include a picture of how the process is occurring. So you might show a location on Earth where that particular process is happening. And if you get kind of stuck, you might want to watch the Bill Nye video because he shows a lot of examples of how each rock might form. So that's where you would have the environment. And then that says the material other than the 3 rock types, see word list below. And it says write the word in the ellipse or the oval. And remember, ellipses, we talked about those during Kepler's laws. So it's just a flattened circle. And you want to include a picture representing the material. So when you look at this word list that I have on the bottom, these are all the words that I would expect to see. Some of them you might change the words a little bit, but for the most part, I should see all of these words either in a rectangle, in an oval, or in the next to an arrow or on an arrow. Okay, so let's take a look at the rubric. So here's the rubric, and the assignment is 10 points, and it's actually very, each part of the rubric is repeated. So everything I have for number 1, category 1, is the same as category 2 and the same for category 3. So I'm just going to read through the 3-point part and just know that it would be a little less for 2 or 1. So you need to talk about the rocks that come from a liquid. And it says all information and images are labeled and clearly describe or show how this rock changes into the other 2 rock types. So this is 1 rock type. You need to explain how this rock can form into the other 2 rock types. So your drawing could get really messy, and as long as I'm able to see it and understand it, that's okay. I'm not grading you on neatness and organization. I have to be able to read the words, but if it's like, whoa, things are kind of way all over the place, that's okay. Then on Monday, you will be describing, so there will be a task 28, and it will be a flip grid where you answer a question using your rock cycle picture. And so for all 5 points, you need to have a specific rock named that you to answer the question. And then you're going to describe the details and show it on your picture. So the picture has to be done in order to show the information. And you can read 4 and 3 points. And doing your flip grid and having some information on it and showing it is, you get 3 points. So just know that pretty easy to get the 3. 4 and 5 is looking at more specific examples of the rock type. Of the rock type. I know I'm going to get some questions about making, can I do this like in Google Draw? And that is just fine. You just need to make sure rock type is in a rectangle, the processes are next to an arrow or on an arrow, and that you put an ellipse around the other material. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about for that, you might want to go back to the Pathways Go Formative, because that assignment used those. And you have the, most of you got 100% on that, so you can look back and see what you did. All right, let me know if you have questions. Oh, I forgot, I have a special rock here. A student had left this in my classroom, and if you see it, it has, oh, there's like a bright light behind me. It's like this weird geode thing. I don't know what it is. I know it's not metamorphic because there would not be this big hole in the middle if it was. But I just think it's like a super eroded geode that maybe had like bubbly stuff on the inside. Can't figure out what it is, but I wanted to show you. And you might see it in the parade that you'll be watching on Friday. So see you later.